Good morning, everybody. See what the delay is, and we'll give everybody a few moments to log on, and then we'll get started. How's everybody doing today? Where's everybody from? What's the weather like in your neck of the woods? It doesn't look like the delay is that bad today. So yeah, we'll give everybody a couple minutes to jump on here, and then we'll get going. That gives me some time to line all my windows up. $2:30 a.m. I think 2:30 a.m. might have the cake on the biggest time switch. And I appreciate you 2:30 a.m.ers because you guys are the ones that I love when we have people show up at the odd times, because it just goes to show that if you really want to make it happen to be here, you can do it. And I can tell you guys, I have had many a times where there is the opportunity to sleep or the opportunity to do something to learn and grow. I know what sleep gets me. Not that it's not valuable. However, when you have the opportunity, I think, to really learn and move yourself forward, you have to kind of weigh those things. You can go to sleep after, you can sleep before. You can always sleep. There's not always going to be the opportunity to learn and improve after, right? And then you can sleep on what you learn and tell your unconscious before you go night-night. Say, hey, I want to dream about this. I want to dream about how I can incorporate these things into my day-to-day life, how I can use them to better myself. So I appreciate everybody being here. It looks like we have a pretty good international audience, and then I see quite a few of you look like you're dealing with some snow. I won't even tell you about what the weather's supposed to be like in Southern California today. I'll give you a hint. It's going to be shorts and t-shirt weather. So we'll give everybody one more minute, and then we'll get started. And just so we have, well, it looks like I just saw South America pop up. Awesome. Do we have any? So we have Australia, Europe, South America, North America. What about, would you have any Well, I think we are back on here. So, okay, let me make sure this is working again. Yes, I really apologize. I've been having internet problems for the last little bit now. I had the technician out here yesterday. They assured me everything was fixed. Obviously, it's not fixed. Hopefully, it's been working all morning. Of course, it doesn't. It starts to act up right in the middle when we need it to be working the most. So we will see what happens and do our best to do the best to make it work. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, let's get started. If you guys have questions, I encourage you all to take notes while I'm talking. And then if you have questions at the end, you can, when I'll open up for Q&A, I'll talk for about 15 minutes, ask all your questions at the end, and then I want to leave a few minutes at the end to share my little surprise with you all. Okay, so let's get started before the internet goes out again. How to keep, today's topic you guys voted on is how to keep your spirits up and your attitude positive while or when others are unconsciously bringing you down. Okay, so how to keep your spirits up and your attitude positive when others are unconsciously bringing you down. This is a great question because I like that the question was asked in a way that's not implying that other people are bad. It's not implying that they're out to get you or they're evil or anything like that. It's saying that, you know, they're doing it and they probably don't even realize they're doing it. Okay, which is true. And most people are not going to be waking up in the morning to say, today I'm going to try to piss Joe off. Today I'm going to try to make Beth's life horrible. We are just not that important and that significant in their lives. As much as we would all love to think we are, we're really not the focus of their universe. Okay, they got their own stuff going on in here and in here that's leading to their behavior. And it's not us. So we have to get our ego out of the way and realize that it's just not all about us. Okay, so the first and most important thing you can do is you have to accept and embrace that you're in control of you. Okay, you have to accept and embrace that you are in control of you. What does this mean? It means that your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions to situations and others' behavior is on you, not them. Now, this is a big one for most of us because what this means is we don't get to play victim. We don't get to play excuse cards anymore. A lot of us find a lot of value and we like having other people in our lives that bring us down because it lets us off the hook, right? How can we ever not achieve anything if we have somebody to blame for it? Oh, I can't this because of this. I can't that because of that. I would have gotten this done, but this person really hurt my feelings. I would have done this today, but this person brought me down. I would have done this today, but this person really was rude and so it distracted me. So I just didn't get things done because it reminded me of all the things that are wrong in my life. Okay, those are all us. Those are all us. We use the person to create excuses to justify why things aren't going our way. We use the person to let ourselves off the hook, but at the end of the day, you guys, it's on us. So we have to embrace and accept the fact that we are in control of us. You are in control of you. I'm in control of I. If somebody else does something, that's on us. Let me give you a personal example because this just actually recently happened. I was out with some friends on Friday night and I was ordering drinks for everybody. And so I was leaning on the bar and there was a bar stool, an empty bar stool between me and this guy who was sitting there. And we were having a really good time. And I was leaning there ordering. This girl comes and sits down and she glares at me. Whoa. Did I smell bad or something? You know, I even took a shower. I put cologne on and everything. And she kind of glares at me. And I just, you know, kind of went along with it. And then she looks over at me. She's like, I'm sitting here. And I was like, oh, well, cool. The chair's empty. I'm not using it. I'm just ordering drinks. She's like, well, you need to move. And so I'm like, whoa, what is going on with this girl? She's clearly got some sort of bug that crawled up her butt. Now, I have a decision to make because she's being rude. She's sending a really bad energy my way. My ego wants to be offended by it. I want to say something. I want to say, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then I stop myself and think, okay, now what do I get out of this? I can choose. I get to choose right now. I can choose to either let this girl upset me and then ruin my vibe, ruin my energy, whatever, for the rest of the night. So then the night becomes, yeah, it was so great, but then that girl at the bar, she was so rude and da-da-da, and that becomes the whole focus, right? How many of us have ever had an experience like that where we have this awesome time, brilliant time, and then that one bad apple comes in, affects us, and then the whole that person about the drama? Or my other choice was I could just laugh about it and be done with it. And she kept nagging me. Her friend, realizing how rude she was being, he's trying to calm her down, telling her to knock it off, and he's apologizing to me, and I'm telling him, don't worry about it. So when I got my drinks, I looked her in the eye and said, you know, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience, and I hope with all my heart I did not ruin your night. And I walked away, and I went over to my friends, and we carried on. We had an amazing time. Okay, that was a choice I could make. She unconsciously, you know, and she was clearly drunk. She unconsciously was bringing me down, or trying to bring me down, right? She's sending out bad energy, bad vibes. I'm up here right now, she's down here. Now, if I allow her to, I can let her bring me down to this level. I could let her drop me even more, right? Which this has nothing to do with her, because I'm up here having this great time with my friends. She brings me down to here, and I start to get really energetic. So now I've lost not only my attitude in the moment, but the whole experience with my friends, right? Because I'm carrying the energy over from that. That's my choice. That's my decision. That's not her. She's not trying to do any of that. She's just trying to tell me that. And she's having her thing in her ear for whatever reason. I don't know. And how silly would it have been for me to let this person, who I've never met before, I'll probably never meet again, and if I do, I clearly, from my first impression with her, have no desire whatsoever to be a friend with her. Why would I give somebody like her so much power over my rest of my time with the people who I do care about? Okay, now that's a stranger the situation goes with friends and family. It's a little tougher when we have people in our life all the time, but at the end of the day, we are still in control of us. We choose our thoughts, our feelings, our reaction to things, okay? So you have to embrace that you are in control of you. Next you have to do is you have to ask yourself, why are you letting them have the power? Why are you letting them power to bother you? Why are you letting them have the power to change your emotions, right? Why let it bother? Why give them that power? Why take your power away from yourself of choosing your own feelings, your own thoughts, your own reactions, and giving it to them, right? Because again, back in my example, if I would have given my power to her, I'm all of a sudden down here, and my night goes, who knows where, it goes completely ruined. I keep my power, and I'm able to go on and laugh about it, and now use something like this as a teaching tool for you guys today. If I hadn't done that, if I would have gone to that place with her and brought it down to here, I wouldn't have been. It would have been this thing that would have just blown out of proportion. And again, it would have become a story about why the night wasn't as promising as it could have been. Okay, so why give that person the power? Why would I give that person the power? What do I get out of it? These are important questions to ask yourself. Why give somebody else power over you? What do you get out of it? Are those excuses you get out of it? And I'll tell you guys this, more often than not, what we get out of it, we get to make excuses. So is that victimhood, are those excuses, are they really worth it to you? And do they really serve you long term? Yeah, short term, they might get you off the hook of something. Short term, they might justify you feeling poopy or however you want to feel. But long term, do you really get a lot out of it? And I'm wagering no, because so many of you wouldn't have voted on this topic for us to be talking about today. Okay? Next thing you have to do is you have to be willing to accept these people for who they are. Okay, you have to be willing to accept them for who you are. Just because you want to think and feel differently, just because you want to shift your focus does not mean that everybody else does. Okay, a perfect example. There are almost 48,000 people on the 1,000 Challenge page. There is a small percent of you that are here. Okay, how many people don't come because they can't, they don't want to wake up in the middle of the night, they don't want to get up early, they don't want this, they don't want that. Okay, not everybody's going to make the effort. If one of you can make the effort, everybody can make the effort. And that's not to say I don't expect people to rearrange everything, but people, for just a neutrality, if people really wanted to, if they really wanted to make it work, if there was nothing, no other obligation going on, they could. Okay, because there's a small percentage of people who are going to want to do that. You think about, I've had so many of you write and say how much you appreciate what I teach, what I offer, all those things, right? And that so many other people could benefit of it. Most people are not going to choose a path of self-betterment, self-improvement like you all are. Okay, and this is such a challenging concept to wrap around. I remember when I was right out of college and I was able to start managing a 24-hour fitness. And so I got promoted because I was really successful as a trainer. I was really well respected in the company. They wanted to give me a shot at management. And I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to teach these guys and they're going to have the same passion as I do. And we're going to really be able to maximize potential, because for me, it was huge. I could only help so many people a day doing personal training. However, if I had a whole staff, I would have like this army at my disposal. And so instead of me being able to do like 10 or 12 people a day, I have a staff and we could help hundreds of people a day, literally. And I was fired up about it. Yet it wasn't happening. I would come into these meetings with trainers with all my passion, all my energy, and trying to encourage them and motivate them. And they're just kind of, someone wouldn't. One day, one of the trainers, he tells me this, I will never forget this. And he was the, one of the top grossing trainers. 24-Hour Fitness would measure a trainer's aptitude by how much training they'd sell every month. And the corporate side of it is sell, 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 sell. And so he tells me one day, he said, Jesse, you got to understand, not everybody's like you. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, I'm happy with a C. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm happy at 70%, coming in here, doing my minimums, and then going home. And this light bulb went out for me. And my first response was, well, C is 70%. It's not a C, it's a C minus. It's barely passing. My second thought was, wow, if this guy is the top producer, the one who's consistently getting clients to re-sign, and he's only putting 70%, and he's happy with that, what does that mean for everybody else? So what I took from that is not everybody is going to be as inspired to change as you all are. Not everybody is going to be as inspired to think and feel and become enlightened or live a happier life like you all are. They may cry about it, they may complain about it, they may say they want it, but they stay there because that's what they know. Or they think that that's where they belong. Or they really have taken on that victim identity so much that they just think that's the role they're supposed to play in life, and they get a lot out of it. So you guys, that's part of it, is accepting them for who they are. Because as much as you may want them to change, they have to choose to change themselves. The way they're going to change is by you leading the example, you living that example, and maybe they look at you one day and say, wow, I want to be more like that. And then they can start to ask you the questions, okay? Lastly, as you accept them for who they are, you have to be willing to see them for who they are, and not better, not worse than they are. Okay? You have to see them for who they are, not better or worse than they are. That means you just have to take it at face value. Okay, so often with people, we want to paint them in this light. And so we put them on this unfair pedestal, but what happens is when they do something that upsets us, frustrates us, pisses us off, their fall is much greater. They're not asking me to be put on the pedestal. We are putting them on the pedestal. Contrastly, we'll paint people in a worse light than they are. Oh, this person says something. Oh, they must be an asshole. Somebody says something. The classic example is somebody cutting us off on the freeway, right? You're driving along, somebody cuts you off. That person's an asshole. That person's a jerk. Okay, we make this whole thing about them wanting to ruin our time on the freeway. They don't have no idea who they are. They did not wake up that morning and say, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get on the freeway today to cut Jesse off and piss him off. I can't wait for it. No, again, we are not that important. We are not that significant to them. Okay, that's our ego telling us that. So once we get to a place where we can accept these people for who they are, how they are, and not see them as better than they are or worse than they are, just see them as they are, it gives us a lot of space, because we're not getting these false expectations on what they should be or shouldn't be like. We just get to see them as it is. So instead of them being Joe with the hopes of turning it around, or Joe the downer, it's just Joe. It's just Joe, and that's how Joe is. And then the choice comes back to us to either accept them for that and find the common ground, find the area we can enjoy with them, or not accept them for that. And then figure out how we can keep space with it so we're taking care of ourselves more. You're under no obligation to change your attitude, change your thoughts, change your energy for another human being. If you decide to change that, that's your choice. Okay, so just to recap real quick, how to keep your spirits positive and your attitude positive, how to keep your spirits up and your attitude positive when other people are unconsciously bringing you down. First and most importantly is you have to accept and embrace the fact that you and you alone are in charge of your thoughts and your emotions. You get to choose your attitude, and what that means is you get to choose how you're going to interpret, how you're going to respond, how you're going to feel about what that person's energy, what their words, what their actions are bringing into your life. Okay, remember my Okay, here we are for the umpteenth time, right? Okay, so I was reading the other day that I don't know if this is even a possibility, that what is it, the Mac, I'm on a Mac right now, the update was causing people were having trouble connecting to Wi-Fi, and it kept dropping it. If for some reason this drops again, I will switch over to a PC and see if that makes any difference. And if it doesn't, that means it's just my internet, and I will keep restarting it as long as you guys are willing to be patient. Stick with me. I'm really sorry. So anyways, I'm not sure where it cut out. I think on my end it recorded everything. I'm not 100% sure, but let's go ahead and open it up to questions. Okay, questions. The stress of this is leading me developing a drinking problem. Oh man, you gotta love technology. It simplifies our world so much until it stops to work, and then it even makes my voice crack. Okay, so you guys have questions. I know there's probably a little bit of a delay here, so I will give you all a chance to catch up. And one day soon, we're going to get through this with no problems. I just don't understand. We had such a good run for so long with things, and then all of a sudden it just started acting up. Uh-oh. I'm panicking anytime I see it stop, like something's dropping. So if you guys see me look away, it's just me checking to make sure it's still connected now. Do you have any tools that help you move past absorbing others' bad moods, etc.? Yes, I have an excellent tool. It is called, well, actually I have a few of them. One is called willpower. The other one is called self-respect. And the other one is called self-love. And what that means is, again, it's not about the other person. It's about you. Somebody wants to have a bad attitude. Somebody wants to have a bad anything. That's on them, you know. And if you are going to choose to take on their energy, you're going to choose to take on any part of them. That's you. That's you. What goes in here and how you process it's up to you. I'll give you an example. I enjoy playing professional poker. I was trying to say two sentences in one. I enjoy playing poker. I am nowhere near a professional level. I'm not even that great of an amateur, but I enjoy the game. I enjoy the psychology of it. And I remember a while ago, I was watching a live event, and they had heart rate monitors hooked up to these guys, okay? Now, when I'm playing, if I put more than $5 in the pot, my heart is going crazy. I'm just sitting there, and I have to breathe and calm down. I'm like this. These guys are putting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the pot. And the heart rate monitor is pretty much the same, whether they're bluffing, whether they have the best hand, no matter what. Okay? Now, why is that? Why is it for me, $5, my heart's going crazy, and for them, it's neutral? It's because they're choosing, it's how they're perceiving it. It's how they choose to perceive it. Are they going to let it affect them? They're going to look at it differently. You look at a soldier in combat. How can a soldier stay fairly neutral when they're trying to make all these decisions, these split decisions? And we start to freak out if we see a spider crawling on the thing. Okay, what we bring in, how we're interpreting it, that's us. Somebody else's attitude, somebody else's behavior, if we're taking that and allowing it to affect us in a negative way, that's us. So what you could do is you can remind yourself that it's willpower, self-love, self-respect for yourself. And then when they do it and you walk away from it and you're so cool, pat yourself on the back and say, good job. I didn't let them get to me today. Great question. If you can, what was the cause you supported for your friends on Friday? Oh, it was just a fundraiser for this group they're a part of. It wasn't like a specific cause. It was more for the organization that they're at. It wasn't like a cause of, save the whales or something like that. It was just a fun event. Do you have any rituals or systems that you practice daily or weekly to keep your spirits up? Yeah, absolutely. When I wake up in the morning, so typically I set two alarm clocks. I set a physical one on my phone, and I set a mental one before I go to sleep at night. And I tell myself to wake up at this time. I like to wake up that way because that way it's not getting shocked out of sleep. That comes with alarm clock. I've practiced that enough that usually now I will wake up probably 2 to 4 minutes before my alarm, which is nice because then I'm able to ease into it. If for some reason I wake up to my alarm, I have a funny song that as soon as I hear it in the morning, it makes me laugh. And then my alarm, because I use my phone, my alarm says something to inspire me. So mine in the morning, it wakes up, it says, I hear the alarm clock go off, I pick up the phone and look at it, it says time to change the world. And so it reminds me of what my reason is for getting up. Okay, and that's extremely powerful for starting the day off. It gives you a reason why. Why are you getting up? Why are you doing it? It makes it, otherwise, if it's just about me, it's too easy to roll back over and lay there and oh, I don't really want to get up right now. You make it about something more important beyond yourself. That's huge. And then I'll eat at the same time. I'll exercise every day. All those types of things. I do those things because it keeps me focused. I was just emailing with one of my personal training clients talking about how important it is to have daily rituals. And she was saying how she's getting back to basics with her nutrition. And I said, oh, that's awesome. Make the basics become your standard. That's what I do. And it keeps me accountable. So yeah, those are some things I do. And it's so important to have those things like that for yourself. It keeps you focused and it gives you a really strong purpose. How many people have you hypnotized so far? Only the ones I did in class, and I think in class I got to hypnotize 5, maybe 6 people. Wouldn't you say it takes practice with intent every day to be like this? It doesn't happen overnight. It's like exercising. You get better with practice and time, right? Yeah, so absolutely, it does take practice. And I'll tell you this, it takes a lot more practice to be not like that than it does to be like that. What I mean by that is when we were born, we were not born in the state of being how we are. Okay, we're born in this state of love. We're born with this instinctual zest for life, to be happy, to be nurtured. And we lose those things because we really focus on untraining that. Again, we're probably not even aware we're doing it, but we do it. Does it take practice to do it? Yeah. Now, hang on. With that being said, some people, if they really wanted, they can flip the switch like that and just decide it's not worth going back that way. They can flip the switch and just decide it's not worth going back that way. A lot of people will hold on to it. The example is somebody who quit smoking cold turkey, right? You could have 100 people, 80 of them say it's impossible to, 20 of them say, it was easy. I just decided I was done. But they had a reason why. They wanted to. It wasn't worth it to them anymore. So if you decide that your reason for shifting, the reason for being in a certain way is worth more to you than your reason not, you can flip a switch and that's it. A lot of people aren't willing to flip that switch because they're still getting too much out of the old way. Okay, so it's a choice. Does it take daily practice? Absolutely. Is it something that you can master? Yeah, most likely. Does it take work and daily practice to become master of it? Absolutely. How can you tell if someone is actually consciously trying to bring you down because they want you to be a sad person like they are? How do you deal with that? If somebody's actually trying to consciously bring you down, again, how you deal with it is just don't let them. I mean, you really just don't let them. If somebody comes to you and says, so I'll give you guys another personal example. I would say, okay, obviously, many of you know that a week from today is going to be the 1 year anniversary of my friend's death. And I would say that I get no fewer than one or two emails a day with people saying some really nasty stuff about it, saying some really hurtful stuff to me. I think some of you saw there was an exchange, like a brief exchange on Instagram and Twitter a couple weeks ago of somebody else just going on there saying some really mean, hurtful stuff. If I let that bring me down, that's me. That's me. I can look at that two ways. I can look at it as saying, wow, this guy, well, I mean, I can look at it a lot of ways, but I'll give you just to simplify it. I look at it two ways. Wow, this guy is an asshole. They're really trying to bring me down. Now, what I decide after that, that's me. Or I can look at it, wow, this guy, I feel really bad for them that they have nothing else going on there to try to hurt my feelings. Now, if I let them hurt my feelings, that's me. Okay? If I look at it the other way and say, wow, this is great. So here's my obstacle of the day right here. Here's this person trying to bring me down. They're saying some really hurtful stuff. If I let that happen, then that's going to take away from me enjoying all the things that bring me up. Me being able to do things like this with you all. Me being able to receive the wonderful things that so many of you say. Why let that one bad apple ruin the bunch? Okay, it just logically doesn't make sense. Why let that one little thing take away from so many other wonderful things, right? I get, on the other side of that one or two emails a day of the mean things I get, people saying, oh, you're fake, you're full of this, you're this or that. I probably get at least a dozen of them, and then so many more comments every day from all of you saying all these nice things, saying how appreciative you are, seeing how grateful for you are. Okay, the scale is like this. Why let this take away from this? Why let that one person in your life take away from everybody else? Yeah, it's one of those things. And again, you have to remind yourself of that. They're trying to bring you down. That's them, not you. That's them. That's their life. But if you let them bring you down, that's your choice. Okay, great question. How do you deal with someone from your friends or family trying to bring you down or bringing negative energy against you? First thing I'd ask him is I'd straight up ask him, are you trying to bring me down? Are you trying to, why are you trying to purposely interject negative energy into my life? Get really clear on that. Get really, really clear on that. And I would say, again, I like to play poker, so I enjoy betting every now and then. If I was a gambler, I would say more often than not, they're going to respond and say, no, I'm not deliberately trying to bring you down. I'm not deliberately trying to put negative energy on you. They might be dramatic and say, I'm so sorry that my life is like this and it's bringing you down. Oftentimes, it's our interpretation of their behavior. We see their behavior, we experience it, and we think, oh, this person must be trying to bring me down. Again, that's our ego making us so much more important in their life than we really are. Okay, we have to get our ego out of play when we're dealing with other people here. We just are not that important. We're just not that significant. They have all these things. Think about this. If they're behaving and acting in a certain way, imagine all the noise that's going on in here and here that's leading to them behave and act that way. Okay, all of you know what it's like to be down, what it's like to be sad. And there's a lot of thoughts and feelings going on in here and here that keeps you in that state, right? So this person who's trying to bring you down, with all those things going on in here and here, do they really have a lot of space to be thinking about you and how to direct it on you? No, they don't. They don't. You are just not that important because they're so fixated on feeling and thinking a certain way. There's not the space for you here. Okay? So we got to be willing to take our ego out of the equation. Again, seeing the person for how they are, not worse than they are, accepting them for how they are. We are not that important, not that significant. They may talk to us, they may project towards us because we're there and we're present in their life, and perhaps it's because they see you as such a pinnacle of strength in their life that they're around you more because they're trying to get some of your strength. And they just feel bad. They feel shitty, whatever that is. How you interpret it, how you process it, that's up to you. Well, here we are again. What is this? Fourth time's the charm. And this time I checked it on my PC. It's definitely my internet. So, and again, the irony is that not even yesterday, the person came out. Well, I was on the phone all day Friday with them, trying to get it fixed. And then the person came out yesterday and looked over and said, "Oh, there's no problem. This is all you need to do." So again, here's another example of things. I could take this to an extreme and say that the internet right now is trying to bring me down. They're trying to throw off my rhythm. They're trying to bring down my day. If I did that, I'm not going to have the same energy to give to you all. I'm going to sit here and be frustrated. I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be all those things. Am I a little frustrated? Yeah. And on the other side of that is I'm so much more appreciative of all of you than I was an hour ago because I see how committed all you are to being here and sticking with it. All of you could be sitting here going on, "Oh, this is so ridiculous, this is unprofessional, blah, 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 blah." But you're all understanding and accepting. And so I have a choice in what I focus on here. Do I focus on the internet that's throwing the rhythm off, or do I laugh at it and just run with it because it is what it is? I can't change it, but I can change my response. And I can change what I'm focusing on. I could focus on that, which is one little thing, or I could focus on all of you being so supportive, making jokes about it, laughing with me about it. And you guys, that's the real power in all. Again, this comes back to your power and what we started with. You are the one that have control of your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. Now, with that being said, I want to keep answering your questions. I also, because we don't know what's going to happen with the internet, I want to share with you all the little bonus I have for you in case it cuts out again. So here it is. Most of you who have been following around on Facebook for the last month have heard about the Zero Limits Mastermind. Okay, I'm super, super, super pumped up this program. I think it is going to be such a cool experience. As I grow, I've shared with all of you my purpose in life, why I believe I'm here on this earth. On my tombstone, I want it to be said that I was able to positively impact the lives of 2 billion people. And I believe this is going to allow me a step more in that direction because it's going to allow me to work with a group of people. And so I'm able to work with more people in an intimate way on a larger scale. The program is going to open up tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. What I wanted to do for all of you, since you all made the time, made the effort to be here for the live event, I want to do two things. One, I want to give you guys all first priority to sign up. So when we're done, I'm going to copy and paste a link onto this YouTube page so that you all can sign up. Part two of this is for any of you who sign up, for the first 15 people who sign up, so any of you who sign up right away within, I don't know how fast those 15 will go, are going to get a free extra bonus session one-on-one with me as part of the program. So the way the program is going to be laid out is we're going to have a monthly meeting over the internet. Internet will be working fine as a group. I'll have 2 or 3 different time slots open. So depending on where you are in the world, you're going to be able to have as many options as possible to attend the live event. We'll also have once or twice a month, depending on the topic. The monthly one is going to be their big focus point for the month. We're going to have 1 or 2 follow-up calls each month as a group to focus in on that topic, question answers. We're going to do weekly goal setting, and then you're also going to have 2 private one-on-one coaching sessions with me over the course of the year. So I'm going to encourage people, and I'll explain more of this to you when you're actually in the program. As a bonus today, you guys get the first priority to sign up. I'm only taking a limited number of people, and you guys are going to get an extra bonus session with me for the first Oh boy. You guys, this is just not our day. Who knows if this is going to go in. I don't know if you guys heard what I was saying about the Zero Limits Mastermind, so I'll just quickly summarize it. Again, it's going to be, those of you sign up, first 15 of you guys are all going to get first chance to sign up. The first 15 people that sign up for the annual membership get a free bonus session with me that we can use before the start of the year, just to really help us enter into the year with a lot of momentum. There's going to be 2 options. There's going to be an annual plan and a monthly plan. It is going to be open up live to the public tomorrow at noon Pacific time. It's going to be a limited number of spaces. I wanted to give you as a thank you for you guys, especially since you guys have all been so patient. As a thank you to it, I want to give you first priority. I will post the link on here as soon as we're done. Okay, I want to try to answer 3 or 4 more questions before the internet cuts out. If it cuts out again, we'll probably just leave it at that because I don't want to keep you guys all over. You all have been so amazingly patient. And if it cuts out for some reason, and I see there's questions unanswered, I will type in the responses in the comments. Say, okay, so hang out, I will type them in there, and we won't deal with the video. Okay, questions. And I will type in the link on here. If for some reason the link, you can't get it to work, you can send me an email, and I will email you the link directly, okay? So questions, 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 questions. Jesse, there are many idiots in this world. If someone wants to invade your space in so rude and horrible ways, do not acknowledge them. Okay, that wasn't a question. My boyfriend would like to start working out again, but he is very skinny and it's very hard for him to gain any weight. Any advice? You gotta eat. You know, I don't know if you're aware, but when I first started working out, I only weighed 165 pounds, and I was chunky as a kid. Have really worked to gaining weight. Got back to where I could do it, work out. So you gotta really eat. Eating is like a full-time job with this, and you gotta make it a priority. To do that, putting alarms on helps, all those things. Also, what else helps is just making it a daily practice, doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, doing those everyday things just to get the calories in. And then the cool thing with exercises is the more you start to do it, the more you're going to be motivated to do the other things, like getting the nutrition part in. The nutrition is so essential. Let's see what else. Good question. Good question. Let's see. Okay, we have any other questions about what we talked about today, about Zero Limits Mastermind, about the weather? Otherwise, I think maybe it doesn't seem like there's too many questions coming in. We'll wrap it up here while the internet's still being forgiving. You guys, thank you so much for your patience today. I hope that in between it cutting out as much as it did and all the technical issues, you guys were able to get some value out of this. Again, those of you who are here, you have first priority to sign up. It's going to go open. Zero Limits Mastermind will open up to everybody else tomorrow at noon. First 15 of you who sign up for the annual program are going to get a bonus coaching session with me. This is only going to be offered today, only going to be for the first 15 of you. I will post those links below. If for some reason the link doesn't work, you can send me an email, and I will get that information over to you. And you guys remember, at the end of the day, you are in charge of you. Okay, other people come in, they try to invade your space, they try to change the way you feel and think. Get your ego out of it, and remember, you get to decide what goes on in here and here. You get to decide what's going on in here and here. Okay, and so walk away today with that. Take that intention. How do you want to think today? How do you want to feel today? How do you want to exist in your day-to-day? Set that intention in here and do it. You guys have that ability. You guys feel bad? That's your choice. Ask yourself, why are you feeling bad? What do you get out of this? You guys want to feel happy? You want to feel something different? You got to start thinking that way. And then if you can't get your mind and energy there, put something on that will. Put music on. Jump up and down and dance. Do some push-ups. I promise you, if you feel sad and you drop down and do as many push-ups as you possibly can until you can't do anymore, you are going to have an emotional shift. I posted a video not too long about how just getting up and moving your physiology will be one of the most powerful things. If you're in a place where you start to feel sad, you start to feel negative, you got to start moving. Go run, go jump up and down, do some jumping jacks, whatever that is. Just that shift in physiology is going to shift here and here, okay? You guys have the power. You guys have control. You have the ability to shape your own view of the world, and it's not up to anybody else. It's only up to you. Okay, guys, thank you again so much for your patience today. I promise one day we're going to get this thing moving smoothly where there's not going to be internet issues. I don't want to take up any more time before it cuts out. I really, really hope and look forward to having some of you be a part of the Zero Limits Mastermind. It is going to be an amazing program, and it's going to be my absolute honor and privilege to be able to be a coach to hopefully quite a few of you over 2015. Okay, you guys? Have an amazing rest of the day, amazing night, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. All right? Bye-bye.